Good morning, I'm Atik Rumi, bringing you the news on Gold FM.
The news headlines on Gold FM.
In your headlines, 6 missing after group swept away in Daduroya. Chandana Khatri Arachi faces prolonged detention and interrogation. Suspected drug trawler seized in southern waters escorted to Digovita. Fragile ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon now in effect. Military campaign against Iran going swimmingly, says Trump.
The top story on Gold FM.
A fragile 10-day ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon is now in effect following a formal announcement by US President Donald Trump. The truce, which commenced at midnight local time, aims to provide a window for high-level negotiations toward a permanent security agreement. President Trump expressed optimism that the Iran-backed group Hezbollah will abide by the terms. Taking to social media, he wrote, quote, "I hope Hezbollah acts nicely and well during this important period of time. It will be a great moment for them if they do. No more killing. Must finally have peace. Thank you for your attention to this matter," unquote. The US leader also confirmed that he intends to invite Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Lebanese President Joseph Aoun to the White House within the next fortnight to solidify the diplomatic gains. While celebrations erupted in cities like Sidon and Beirut, with displaced citizens beginning their journey home, the military situation remains precarious. Prime Minister Netanyahu clarified that Israeli troops intend to maintain their presence within a 10-kilometer security zone in southern Lebanon for the duration of the truce. This position directly contradicts Hezbollah's demands for a total withdrawal and a comprehensive halt to all Israeli activity. Despite the pause in major operations, the Lebanese military reports several ceasefire violations involving intermittent shelling, while the Israel Defense Forces confirmed hitting over 380 targets in the final 24 hours leading up to the deadline. On the broader regional front, President Trump indicated that a definitive deal to end the war with Iran is very close.
I will say the war in Iran is going along swimmingly. We can do whatever we want. And it should be ending pretty soon. It was perfect. I mean, it's perfect. It was the power we have, our military. We have the most powerful military anywhere in the world. I built it 4 years, my first 4 years. We had the best economy in the history of our country in my first term, and we're blowing it out now. We're blowing it away now. And despite our little diversion to the lovely country of Iran, lovely place, but we had to do that because otherwise bad things could happen, really bad things. So we've sent out, and I think you're going to see some incredible results, you know, for those people that question it. You're going to see the job we've done has been amazing. The ships are out there today, and they're saying, don't come here, don't even think about it. And you have these massive tankers saying, let's get the hell out of here. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Speaking to reporters at the White House lawn, President Trump indicated that talks with Tehran may resume in Islamabad as early as this weekend. According to the US administration, the proposed agreement ensures Iran will not possess nuclear weapons and includes monitoring provisions extending beyond 20 years, and that he himself may go to Islamabad to sign the deal.
When will the next in-person
Probably,
meeting take
maybe
place?
over the weekend.
Will you send the Vice President?
Maybe over
Will
there.
you send the
Just so
Vice
you
President?
understand, the blockade has been incredible. It's held. They're not doing any business. They're unable to do any business because of the blockade. And so the combination of having no Navy, having no Air Force, having no anti-aircraft equipment, they have nothing. Everything is gone, including their leaders. Now they have a new set of leaders, and we find them very reasonable. What we have is we have a statement, very powerful statement, that they will not have beyond 20 years, that they will not have nuclear weapons. That's beyond. There's no 20-year limit. And the big thing we have to do is we have to make sure that Iran does not have a nuclear weapon, because if they do, you want to talk about problems, you'd have problems. So very important is that Iran does not have a nuclear weapon, and they've agreed to that. Iran's agreed to that, and they've agreed to it very powerful. They've agreed to give us back the nuclear dust that's way underground because of the attack we made with the B-2 bombers. So we have a lot of agreement with Iran, and I think something's going to happen.
However, US Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth warned that American forces remain locked and loaded, specifically targeting Iranian energy infrastructure and power generation should the diplomatic track fail. Hegseth described the current maritime blockade of Iranian ports as polite behavior that could escalate if orders change. The strain of the ongoing conflict is also impacting global security arrangements as the US notifies European allies of significant delays in weapons deliveries. Countries in the Baltic and Scandinavian regions are reportedly facing setbacks on previously contracted hardware as American stockpiles are diverted to Middle Eastern theaters.
This is the local news on Gold FM.
Police seek detention orders to further investigate former MP Chandan Kathriarachib following his arrest by the Colombo Crimes Division over illegal firearm possession. Officers executing the search warrant from the Casbah Magistrates Court at his Mampe residence yesterday morning uncovered two T-56 magazines, 221 rounds of T-56 ammunition and 31 rounds of 84S ammunition. The search also yielded 103 rounds of 2.2 ammunition used for revolvers and a live hand grenade. Investigations confirmed that two 9mm pistols, a 12-bore firearm and a 16-bore firearm found at his premises belong legally to Chandana Kathriarachi and his wife, who currently resides abroad. The police special task force bomb disposal unit neutralized the recovered hand grenade yesterday afternoon. The traditional New Year auspicious times for departing for emergency duties fell today at 5:38 a.m. According to the almanac, those departing were advised to wear golden-colored clothing, consume milk rice mixed with curd, buttermilk and sweets mixed with black gram before heading north. Meanwhile, the auspicious time for the general public to return to regular employment falls on Monday at 6:27 a.m. 2 bodies were recovered and 6 people remain missing after 10 individuals from a group of 15 faced an emergency while bathing in the Daduru Oya yesterday. Police confirmed that 2 others were rescued and admitted to the Nikavaratya Base Hospital. The group involved in the incident included 4 men, 3 women and 3 school children. Recovered bodies belong to a 34-year-old woman and a 70-year-old man. The missing 6 include a 42-year-old woman and 3 children aged 9, 13 and 18. Navy divers and police continue search operations for the missing victims. Investigations revealed that a party of 7 from Kadavata visited relatives in Kobegane before the combined group of 15 went to the river. In a separate incident, 2 individuals died yesterday after drowning while bathing in the Kachigala tank in Kuttigala, Amblipitia. Police media spokesperson Assistant Superintendent of Police F.U. Wootler stated that 20 people died due to drowning incidents within the last 5 days alone. The Navy brought a multi-day fishing trawler and 4 fishermen to the Dikovita Fisheries Harbour today after seizing sacks suspected to contain narcotics. Officials plan to hand over the vessel and the suspects to the Police Narcotic Bureau for further investigation. The Navy stated the arrest took place during a special operation conducted in the deep seas south of Sri Lanka. More than 1,300 flights to and from Sri Lanka have been cancelled since the Middle East crisis erupted. But as Gulf airspace slowly reopens, questions are mounting over whether the country is doing enough to turn disruption into opportunity, positioning itself as an alternative aviation hub before the window closes. Gold FM speaks to aviation authorities, academics and industry veterans. The Director General of Civil Aviation says the worst may be over, but the numbers tell a sobering story.
Today, I can say the number of flight cancellations up to date is 1,330 to Middle East sector. All the Middle East carriers, including the foreign and the local base carriers, there were 1,330 were cancelled. We can see a positive trend now. Earlier, the impact was 60 to 70%, and now it has reduced to 30%. And if you compare the passenger arrivals during the past week, we can see a positive trend. Now the impact further reduces to 20%.
But while cancellations ease, the knock-on effects run deeper. Former Director General of Civil Aviation and US-based travel industry veteran Upul Dharmadasa says Sri Lanka is hemorrhaging capacity and the passengers aren't coming back on their own. Dharmadasa puts a number on exactly how much connectivity Sri Lanka is losing daily and where it hurts most.
So many passengers who are stranded now. Per day, we are losing about 4,000 seats coming into Colombo. Well, Emirates has 5 flights, Qatar 4 or 5. Etihad also 4 flights. So combined number of seats are over 4,000 seats per day when you look at the number of capacity. So we are losing a big time. Where are those passengers go? So they all either stranded or cancel their plans, which means our tourism also drops.
And yet, for the flights that are operating, business is booming. Dharmadasa says airlines routing through Colombo are making record money, proof that the demand exists if Sri Lanka can capture it. With Gulf hubs out of action, Colombo has become a prized routing point and ticket prices reflect it.
Sri Lanka is already making big money. If you look at Colombo, they're selling about almost $3,000 a piece. So that's big time. They are taking advantage of the situation. That's one thing. I mean, every flight is full and they're making good money. On the Paris flight, they're making good money. Flight is full. Frankfurt is full. They're making every flight is making a money maker. London is extremely full. You cannot get a seat.
Dharmadasa argues there is an even more immediate claim, one that doesn't require building anything new. With Emirates and Qatar grounded across the globe, their airport slots at major European cities are sitting empty. The former aviation chief says Sri Lankan Airlines should move now to code share into those vacant slots before they are reallocated.
Yes. If you take an example about Emirates, Qatar, Etihad, the government has invited and there discussions are on with these foreign missions and through the embassies, high commissions, and also from the Foreign Affairs Ministry and our line ministry, Ports and Civil Aviation Line Ministry. They are working on this matter and very soon we'll be inviting them.
So the ideas are on the table, but what is actually being done? Captain Ramukwela says the government has formally reached out to the Gulf's biggest carriers. The Director General confirms diplomatic channels are active, but concrete agreements are yet to materialize.
And because of the traffic, their slots are down. So we utilize those slots in those major cities, Paris, Frankfurt, all those cities. Like Emirates can fly on UL flight number. Emirates and Qatar can carry on the codeshare UL flights now because their slots are open now. The problem in any airport is to get the slots, the space for check-in purpose, all that. So those check-in counters are open now. Nobody's flying. Since Qatar and Emirates are flying, their slots are pretty open. All around the globe.
Now for some news in brief.
The Department of Meteorology forecasts that showers or thundershowers will occur at several places in the western, Sabaragamo, southern and Uva provinces and in the Kandy and Nuwara districts after 1 p.m.
The business news on Gold FM.
And now it's time for a stock market update brought to you by Roshan Fernando of Capital Trust Securities.
The Colombo Stock Exchange had its extended third consecutive day of increase, with the all-share price index increasing 327 points to close at 22,588. The S&P SL20 index also increased 55 points to close at 6,230. Turnover was 4.96 billion rupees. The trading was actively participation we saw in Jonkis Holdings, Ceylon Land and Equity, Softlogic Capital. Sector-wise, capital goods, diversified financial and insurance led the market turnover. Total 171 stocks gained, while 47 stocks decline. Carson's Cumberbatch, Haley's PLC, Jonkis Holdings were the key contributors towards the all-share price index.
Global oil prices fell in early trade as optimism grew for a diplomatic end to the Iran war and the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. Brent crude futures declined by $1.34 to $98.05 a barrel, while West Texas Intermediate fell $1.65 to $93.40.
International news on Gold FM.
The Foreign Office Permanent Under Secretary Sir Ollie Robbins is leaving his post after failing to inform the Prime Minister that Lord Mandelson failed security vetting for the US ambassador role. Sources indicate Sir Keir Starmer and Foreign Secretary Yvette Cooper lost confidence in the top civil servant who was effectively sacked. The department reportedly went against agency recommendations to allow the appointment before Lord Mandelson was removed months later over ties to Jeffrey Epstein. Opposition leaders now call for the Prime Minister to resign, alleging he misled Parliament regarding the due process followed.
Entertainment news on Gold FM.
Hollywood star Tom Cruise prepares for another flight as Paramount Pictures confirms a third Top Gun film during the CinemaCon presentation in Las Vegas. Producer Jerry Bruckheimer also rejoins the project alongside writer Ehren Kruger, who previously contributed to the 2022 blockbuster Top Gun Maverick.
Sports News on Gold FM.
Punjab Kings moved to the summit of the Indian Premier League table after a dominant 7-wicket victory over Mumbai Indians at the Wankhede Stadium. Despite an unbeaten 112 from Quinton de Kock on his return to the side, Mumbai's total of 195 proved insufficient as the visitors chased it down with 21 balls to spare. Arshdeep Singh set the tone for Punjab with 3 wickets for 22 runs, including the dismissal of Surya Kumar Yadav for a golden duck. That's it for the news. I'm Atik Rumi. Have a great day.